So in a follow-up video to the gentleman that was purchasing up custom hand-loaded ammunition, I just want to share with you maybe a solution to the problem, right? And one of the things that cause most people the biggest issues when they get into hand loading is they don't purchase one of these, and more importantly, they don't follow one. So I just want to share with you the solutions to most of the problems that people run into when they're hand loading. This particular book was purchased in 1992, and it's a beautiful book to read through. I love finding these things at old gun shows and stuff, because on a lot of the articles, you'll see that sometimes, or a lot of the cases, though, you'll see articles that were written, and just years and years of data that these companies collected. But you'll see in the front of this book, they're going to give you step-by-step instructions on how to make great and safe ammunition. This is one of my favorite books as well. This was published, I believe, in 1996, 1994. A lot of these books, a lot of people would consider it obsolete, but the same cartridges exist back then as they do today, the same powders, a lot of the same data. So it's nice to look across several resources. Let's just say for a 308, I can look in a modern book that was printed today, I can look in this one, I can look in this one, and I can sort of compare all of the data, as well as did they use a longer barrel, are they using different primers, and then nowadays maybe even different cases. So the thing I want to share with you in this book in particular, and one of the reasons why I like it so much, is that everything that we're going to do while we're reloading, every step of the process is in this book. Now you can see, of course, this book is very well faded. It definitely has some blood, sweat, and maybe even some tears of crying over the years of reloading. Definitely embedded in the pages, but everything that we talk about here in class, including all the warnings, including all the case prep, including all the things that we would watch out for, like high pressure. Remember we were talking about him sticking the ejector button, blowing out primers. It's in the book. The last thing I want to share with you, and one of the reasons why I like some of the older books so much, just a little side note is I love the fact that this one in the Nosler book, when you look up a cartridge, they'll a lot of times do a little work ahead of time. They'll tell you maybe some brief history of the cartridge. I know in one of Nosler's book, they had a page or two article on each cartridge written by a professional somewhere along the lines about that cartridge that they had experience with, about some of the loads. And sometimes they'll even point towards the correct powders for the different bullets. So for example, what would be an appropriate starting powder to look at for a 243 shooting an 85 grain bullet is probably in here. But a lot of advanced hand loaders get in trouble because they go on the internet and they find all the secret sauce. Everybody wants to find a way that there's got to be something I can do to make the ammunition better, some secret oil I can rub on the case, some certain time of the day in which gravitational pull pulls on the powder. You'll hear all kinds of crazy stuff, right? But I often find that not only is this a great place for new reloaders to make great, safe ammunition, but it's also a great reference for more experienced hand loaders to come back. And a lot of times the things that have gotten them in trouble with the reloads is the fact that they've forgotten or they've modified all the things in here that they tell you to do. So what we find at the reloading class here in person is just going back to basics a lot of times solves a lot of the problems that the advanced loaders have, that they've almost introduced either by themselves or by taking somebody's advice for some of the goofy and weird things that you see on the internet. So when I was telling the gentleman to go buy the book in the previous video, I wasn't just saying purchase it, I was saying follow it. And a lot of times that keeps you out of harm's way. So I would have utmost confidence that somebody new to reloading could purchase either of these books or those like it, read the entire book, and then be able to make great quality ammunition that is safe. In many cases, I think better than what they could buy. So thanks for joining us in the video. See you in the next one.